Hey guys, we're here for another week out on the Camp Chef patio, bringing to you one of my family's most favorite meals. This is a recipe that we're going to be working on today that we had a recipe contest probably about 3 years ago, and this was a recipe that was submitted, and over the past couple years, 3 years, I've changed it some, adapted it, definitely with some help of some folks here at Camp Chef, namely Julie. So we're going to be cooking that. It's a great recipe, and that's what we got going on today. Tori, did I really miss anything?
What recipe is it, Tom?
Haha, right on. So we're doing smoked buffalo chicken tacos. Last time I made this recipe was the first time I tried putting the chicken on the pellet grill, and now it's going to be something I'm going to do every single time. But while we're doing that, or in addition to that, we're also going to use some of that chicken to make some smoked buffalo chicken nachos.
Yum.
So really a lot of great finger food with loads of flavor, and the best part, it's wicked easy. So, first thing, pellet grill.
Gotta love the pellet grill.
Yep. So I've got the chicken in here, and I started it out, anytime I do this recipe with chicken, just to get some of that smoke flavor, I usually start it on a lower temperature between 200 and 225 to get some of that smoky flavor. And then after about 25 minutes, I'll turn it up to about high or 400 degrees. Just in there, kind of depends on how much of a cooking time frame I'm in. We're going to pull those off here in a minute. We'll throw them in one of our cast iron skillets. We've got our Pro 90X stove. So we've got two 12-inch cast iron skillets. We're going to be cooking our chicken in and cooking it down or cooking the hot sauce down with the chicken in it. That's what we're going to be doing our nachos in it. Awesome.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us. We're getting a lot of hellos from Oklahoma, California,
Oklahoma.
Lots of views. Thanks for joining us. If you guys are just joining us today, we are making, what are we making, Tom?
Smoked buffalo chicken tacos and smoked buffalo chicken nachos.
They almost rhyme. Perfect. So if you guys are just joining us, make sure you share with your friends. Let them see this awesome recipe that we're taking from the pellet grill to some cast iron skillets we have on the stove. So we're going to show you how to make a meal that goes across our outdoor kitchen.
Absolutely. So, as always, make sure you're sharing with your friends, much to the chagrin of many people here at Camp Chef. Sharing is caring. Make sure you share with your friends, because this is a great recipe if you're needing to feed a lot of people and you don't want to put a lot of time and effort into it. This is a very quick and easy recipe to do, as I struggle here with putting some gloves on. So we're going to season up some of the chicken here, get that on there, and then work on this chicken here.
Yeah, so we have some chicken going on the pellet grill. We're using our bronze pellet grill today, as well as, you guys probably saw just a second ago, two of our 12-inch cast iron skillets, as well as our Pro 90X, and as always, our trusty mesa table.
Yes.
And our patio cart and bamboo cutting board. So that's our lineup today. That's how we're getting this meal together.
Yes. And we'll hit on those seasonings, or those items in a little bit. Seasoning I'm using today is our all-purpose seasoning. We've used this off and on over the past few months since we've got it in stock. But just to add a little bit more flavor to the chicken and everything that we're doing. So just hit that real quick with some seasoning. Now, something that I did, it's a personal preference. For the most part, boneless, skinless chicken breast that you get in the grocery store, it's going to have most everything trimmed off anyway, but there always tends to be just a little bit of fat trimmings or something from a wing or cartilage or something. I always just like trimming those off before, because one of the worst things is when you're munching on some good food and you get some gristle or some fat that you weren't planning on.
Yeah. And one thing with seasoning raw meat, if you guys noticed, Tom has gloves on, yes, but he had a dirty hand and a clean hand, right, Tom? So you had
Yep.
one hand that was for patting down the chicken, and the other hand that was for pouring the rub so you don't get raw meat germs on your seasoning bottle. That would be no bueno.
That is right. So, go ahead and get...
Tom thinks sharing a new pellet grill is really caring.
I wouldn't disagree. So I'll get this chicken going. Close that up. And here in just a minute, we'll pull that chicken off. Now, one of the things that I do with this recipe, I'm going to set this off to the side. One of the things that I do with this recipe, and the original recipe also had it where you didn't cook the chicken all the way, whether it was on a skillet in your oven, in this case in a pellet grill. So what we're going to do...
Ooh, look at those sear marks.
Yeah, buddy.
Nice.
Pull off this chicken.
Now, Tom, you said this chicken wasn't cooked all the way.
Correct. So, chicken, ideally, you're wanting to get it to a minimum temp of 165. That's the minimum USDA temp that they call for on chicken. Because even this chicken, you can tell that the juice isn't running clear, and that's always a good indication that your chicken has been cooked all the way. Let me get a knife here. But for our purposes today, part of that cooking process for this chicken is actually going to occur in this skillet. So even if it doesn't get cooked all the way
on the pellet grill,
we're going to finish it off in the skillet, which will be nice because it'll get some of that additional flavor. And even this chicken is cooked, 99% of the way. We're just going to finish it off.
So if you guys are just joining us, we are making some smoked buffalo chicken tacos. We're at the beginning stages of that right now. And we are also making smoked buffalo chicken nachos, correct? Yes. So make sure you're sharing with your friends. Let them know about this recipe because it's way easy. You can feed a bunch of people. It's quick. And you can do it a bunch of different ways. Today we are using our pellet grill, our bronze pellet grill, and also some cast iron skillets on our stove. But I mean, you could, if you don't have a pellet grill, you could use your oven, right, Tom?
Absolutely. Or even
how else could they make this recipe?
So the way that I'd always done it before, up until I got a pellet grill of my own a couple years ago, I would actually use one of our rib skillets, so I could still get some of those grill marks. I would get that real hot to get some of that seasoning and caramelization you get when you sear stuff. And then I would cook it and then transfer it to a flat bottom or a smooth bottom skillet, like a 10 or 12-inch skillet, to finish off the chicken, to shred it. And this chicken, for the most part, is done, so this process will actually go pretty quick.
And what is it that you are doing with, I mean, obviously you're cutting the chicken. we can see that, but what's the next step after this?
So the next step, as soon as I cut this piece right here, so we use, with this particular recipe, I use some buffalo hot sauce, and with this I actually pour in about half the bottle, 3/4 of the bottle initially. It's definitely, when you do this, don't be standing right over it, because if you catch a whiff of that, it definitely clears the sinuses.
Ooh, I can smell it from here already.
So we'll get that moved over here. And
Haley, thanks for joining us. Tom, what flavor pellets are we using today?
so we are using hickory pellets. Is what we've got in there.
Lee, that was hickory in case you didn't hear. And Tom just lit up our Pro 90X stove. It's nice. We have Nachos ignition on that. I'll show you guys the burner. And if you guys are just joining us, we are making smoked buffalo chicken tacos today.
Yes.
It's kind of a mouthful. And we've just cooked this chicken on our bronze pellet grill, which you can see Tom over there with. And we've just cut it up and transferred it to our 12-inch skillet on our Pro 90X stove. And we're just gonna let that simmer, Tom?
Yeah. And this is something that you can turn it up a little bit higher on. And this is one of the few times, if you ever cook with cast iron, the vast majority of the time, you always want to preheat your skillet. Even when I'm doing fried eggs, hash browns, sausage, pancakes, anything like that, scrambled eggs, I always heat up my skillet. It gets a more even heating throughout the skillet, giving it a little bit more time. But also, the one thing with cast iron is that once you heat it up, it's very difficult to get it to cool down. It retains that heat, so you want to cook with it and start it out at a temp that you can control right off the bat before all of a sudden you end up with blackened eggs, which you don't want.
So, if you guys are just joining us, make sure to share with your friends so they can catch this recipe too. We're making smoked buffalo chicken tacos, and later we're making smoked buffalo chicken nachos. So, 2 different meals, 1 similar recipe.
Yep.
We've just poured in some hot buffalo sauce with our chicken here. We're letting that simmer in our cast iron skillet.
Yes, and I'm actually going to put our brown sugar in our pellet grill for a little bit to get it to heat up because it's rather solid in the cold. But the brown sugar was a trick that when we first made this recipe that I learned from Julie when we first made this recipe, because that's a lot of hot sauce. And if you or the people that you're having come over your house, a lot of people like really spicy food, but this on its own, it's powerful. But with some brown sugar, it helps sweeten it and make it so it's not quite such a hit to your taste buds and your senses and your sinuses. So we've got that going. We'll stir this a little bit. See where we're at. And
Jasmine, we are in northern Utah. That's where we're cooking from today. Speaking of where we are, where are you guys tuning in? I've seen a ton of people already answer this question. We've got a lot of viewers from really all over Minnesota. I've definitely seen some British Columbia, California, let's see, Washington, Jersey. We have so many different people from so many different parts of the country. So let us
That's
know
awesome.
where you guys are tuning in from. We'd love to hear.
Absolutely. So one of the other things that, for me personally, why I really like doing this recipe in a cast iron skillet, what I'm doing right now, I would not be able to do in any of the pans at my house.
All that
I'm
buffalo
getting
sauce.
some whiffs of the hot sauce. Whew. But I wouldn't be able to cut into this like this and not gouge it out. Got another whiff there. Cast iron, the beauty of it for me, it's very forgiving, which when you're a cook like I am is a good thing. So while that's going on, let's check and make sure our brown sugar is started to...
And let's just get one fast look. Let's get some likes if you're a hot sauce fan or a spicy food fan. I am a little bit of a wimp with that stuff, but I trust you, Tom, with this recipe. So Tom's adding brown sugar, right, Tom?
Yep.
Is that what?
Got some brown sugar to that. Stir that in. And really, at this point in time, it's just a matter of a waiting game. Just letting it cool down, cook down a little bit. I actually like letting this cook down enough to where I've got maybe about 1/4 inch or less of the skillet still has some of this sauce. Really get a lot of that flavor. Let's talk about some of the other ingredients we've got going on over here. So for our nachos, we've got some diced tomatoes that Tori did a great job on slicing.
Woo.
These are the green jalapeno.
Green chilies.
This is why you keep Tori around.
Yeah.
Green chilies.
Olives.
Olives.
There you go.
We've got that going.
This is our patio cart, by the way. We've got our bronze pellet grill out here today too. Our mesa table from last week and like every other video we've ever done. And our Pro 90X stove. That's our lineup today, and we're cooking on all of this stuff.
Yes. So, I think we're about ready to build some nachos. What do you say, Tori?
Let's get some legs for nachos. Nachos sound great right now.
All right. So the great thing about cooking is that really you can make it your own. So we'll get some of this.
And if you guys are just joining us, we're about to make some smoked buffalo chicken nachos. And we would love for you guys to share this video because we're going to have both of these recipes posted later. Your friends can use it to feed you when they invite you over for dinner, right? Or you can feed your friends. It's a great way to feed a ton of people.
Absolutely. So, using a different fork here, get over here and start getting some of our chicken. Now, you can definitely shred this a little bit more. It's just kind of up to you. Sometimes when I'm eating and digging into some chicken, I want things a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger chunk.
You guys can probably see how chilly it is out here today. We've got that nice steam rolling.
This is why it's always very handy to have people here helping you, because you end up forgetting the cheese in the kitchen. All right.
So, like I said earlier, we will be posting both of these recipes probably tomorrow. So you can keep an eye out for that on our Facebook page for both the smoked buffalo chicken tacos recipe and the smoked buffalo chicken nachos recipe.
Yes.
So you guys can try it out this weekend. And if you try it out, if you do either of these recipes, please let us know. Take a picture, tag us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you like to hang out socially. We'd love to see your attempt at this recipe, see how it turns out.
All right, let's get some more chicken. And give that a little bit of a stir. Catching some whiffs of that hot sauce. Whew.
I believe it was Somersault Daniel said we're gonna melt the snow with that hot sauce.
I'd be okay with that, to be honest. We went from not really having anything remotely close to warm temperatures here, and then it all of a sudden got super hot, and now we're back to this.
With any good nachos recipe, you want
Layers.
the basics, right? Layers, chips, cheese. Those are your staples. We are adding some smoked buffalo chicken to these nachos, and some other ingredients over here that Tom described earlier. We have some diced tomatoes, some jalapenos, some olives, and some green chilies. So with nachos, the recipe, I mean, there really isn't a recipe for nachos, right? You kind of just throw on whatever you want, whatever you
Pretty
like.
much.
Just make sure it's layered and delicious.
So we'll get a little bit, some food with a little bit more kick and flavor to it. Go with some olives. Tori is going to be digging these. I will avoid them. But that's all right. That's the beauty of cooking. You know, you can make it your own. am by no means a professionally trained chef, but I like to think I can still cook some pretty good food.
Let's get some legs for that. I know it's not even finished yet, but that looks like it's gonna be great.
All right, let's get some last little bit more cheese. I say a little bit, I mean, you know, a good handful.
Who likes tons and tons of cheese on their nachos? There really isn't too much, I think.
All right, we'll move some of our chicken over. Make a spot for our skillet.
Now, why are we putting it on the pellet grill, Tom?
I basically want to bake it. I want to get that cheese melted. The chicken, everything's already cooked. I just want to get that nice, ooey, gooey, cheesy, melty goodness. Is what I'm going for.
That's a good way to describe it.
I'm really good at describing stuff, if you guys couldn't tell. All right. I think we're ready to build some tacos.
Yes.
So
you can see, Tom was talking about earlier, he wanted to simmer down the hot sauce, get it reduced to this kind of thicker, almost caramely sauce. You guys can see the level, how much it's changed. That's where it was. We've now cooked it down so it's nice and thick. It'll be a great sauce for our tacos.
Yes.
And that sauce, in case you guys missed it, we made that from some buffalo hot sauce.
Yep.
And some brown sugar.
And I used about a cup and a half, and really add as much or as little as you want. That brown sugar really is there to help make it so it has less of a bite, less of a kick. So if you really want that kick, you really want a lot of that hot, spicy flavor, you know, go with maybe a quarter cup, a half cup. If
you're not a spicy fan, you can add some more sugar.
Yes. So, all right. Put some tortillas in here to get them softened. And this is also, cheese is actually already starting to melt.
Check on our nachos. Ooh, don't look at the lid.
All right. So, this is how we build these nachos.
These tacos.
Tacos, sorry, in my house. So, make sure we got everything we need.
Linda, Sherry, we do love this stove. It's our Pro 90X. We're big fans.
Nice.
And if you guys are just joining us for this final step of our smoked buffalo chicken tacos, make sure you share this with your friends. Let them know about these awesome recipes that we're doing today. We will post both of these on our Facebook page tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that. Come back to our Facebook page to get these recipes so you guys can try it out this weekend. And as I said earlier, if you do try this recipe, either of them, the nachos or the tacos, let us know. Take a picture, tag us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter,
Use
wherever you want to.
Camp Chef and hashtag Feed Your Outside.
Yep. We would love to see you guys cooking what you love to eat.
So we'll add, this is just classic coleslaw. Provides a little bit of a crunch. Go with that chicken. And then, if you're daring and know how to do it, I'd recommend making your own guacamole. Definitely can provide a lot of flavor.
Yeah. Homemade guacamole. That's where it's at.
If not, no, nothing wrong with store-bought. We won't hold it against you. Add some guacamole. And last but not least, some ranch.
Some ranch, yes. If you guys don't love spicy food, this is also another great way to kind of
Help
tone it down a little bit. Yeah.
All right.
Tom, you want to give it a try?
Well, yes, I want to check on our nachos because
Oh, yes.
I don't want to
The
burn those guys.
nachos.
Oh, we're getting there.
Yeah. Let's get some likes for that.
All right.
Really close on those.
And that chicken is there. I need to get a paper towel. Don't want any hot sauce in the beard.
Ah. And while we're waiting for him, I'll just remind you guys what we did today. Some smoked chicken into our cast iron skillet. We added some buffalo hot sauce, some brown sugar. We simmered that down to get this nice thick caramely stuff. And now we've built our tacos.
Yes. So, let's make
Mike
sure.
wants to know if you want to add any cheese to that taco.
I don't, but you certainly can, and I've done it before. But I like spicy, and I like a lot of the flavor that comes from the brown sugar and the hot sauce. So, personally, I don't, but
All right, give it a taste. See what this
All right.
is like.
you got one more bite to get to that chicken.
A full tortilla bite. Nice. Tom? What's
Tom approved.
Tom approved? All right.
Has
Awesome.
a lot of that spice, the hit of that hot sauce, of the crunch of coleslaw. I love this. I love this meal. So I cook it about once a month at home. So, hey, let's check on our nachos.
I think they'll be about done. And we put those in the pellet grill just a couple minutes ago to melt the cheese. Now we're going to pull them out. Get you guys a close-up of these delicious nachos. Gonna top it with some more chicken.
Yep.
So in our nachos here, we layered them with chips, cheese, we have some tomatoes, some jalapenos, some olives, some green chilies, and of course our smoked buffalo chicken. But as with any good nachos recipe, you can change it and make it exactly how you want. So
Absolutely.
you can add whatever ingredients sound awesome to you.
This chicken really is not cooperating here. All right.
And like I said, we're going to post these recipes tomorrow on our Facebook page, so keep an eye out for that. And if any of you guys try either of these recipes, please let us know. We want to see your pictures. We want to see your own unique take on the recipes we put out there. We love to see what you guys are doing at home.
Some behind the scenes while this is going on, we're actually having some pictures taken. That's how we roll. Multitasking. Gonna add some salsa to this. What's nachos without some salsa? And if you want, you can add some guacamole, but let's give these guys a taste. Oh no! A piece of chicken here. Alright.
Tom's so lucky he gets to taste all this stuff today. I'll be digging in right after this.
That's awesome.
Good
Actually,
stuff.
the first time I made that today. I'm really glad I made that.
Oh, we invented a new recipe.
We did. So really, you know, as I said before, this is a super simple recipe. It's just chicken, hot sauce, brown sugar, making sure that chicken is cooked all the way, or in this case, we cooked it about 3/4 of the way. I pulled it when it was about 120 degrees, 125 internal temp. Finished it off in the hot sauce. And then from there, if you want to do tacos, you want to do nachos, if you wanted to do, you know, some chicken sliders, you can definitely do that. Just very quick, easy meal that has a lot of flavor, can feed a lot of people, and doesn't require a lot of effort.
The options are nearly endless.
Yeah. So, guys, thanks for joining us today. It's always a pleasure having everyone here watching us and learning some new things as we learn with you. And remember, sharing is caring. Make sure you share this recipe with your friends and the video.
Oh, and we'll see you guys next week for a special live video.
Yes.
Right, Tom?
Yes, that is true. We'll be doing something pretty awesome next week.
So make sure you tune in next week. It's going to be extra special.
Yes.
It's not going to be our usual routine here. So
Nope.
Join us next week, and we will see you guys then.
Yep.
Bye.
See you guys.